Now, what I'm about to share with you is extremely different to what most people would accept in a sales training program. But what I do when it comes to this one subject, treat others the way that you would like to be treated, is something that I see as extremely special. And what I did many years ago is I started going into the psychology of selling, especially in this one area of treat others the same way that you'd like to be treated. And it hasn't changed. But what this video, which will now run into 2 parts, will reveal to you is something you wouldn't have expected. And the manner by which I get into the psychology involved behind each aspect of the subject will surprise you. But the more you too start to take on board what I share, the more you'll understand how this will impact positively in everything that you do in selling. And that's the most important thing that you need to learn as an individual, because once you get to understand how it all comes together, you'll actually sell so much more than you have in the past, because you'll understand what you're selling, why you're selling it, and how you need to sell it. And they're the most essential things that you need to understand when it comes to the selling process, and I'm sure you will agree with that. The first point I want to bring to your attention here is you should treat others the way you would like to be treated. Now, as I've mentioned this, it seems to the ethical salesperson like a proclamation of the obvious. And it is. But it's also more than that, because far too often, too many sellers, for some strange reason, tend to ignore this fundamental principle. At least in this instance, this headline is crucial and should not be treated as lip service alone. Now, prospects will immediately feel rightfully unhappy whenever they are not treated how they want to be treated. And the downshot of this is that where that basic maxim of treat others as you would like to be treated is ignored, prospects generally will not buy from you, regardless of how good the actual sales proposition may be at the time. Remember, they generally will not buy. In Part A, I share the golden rules of selling, little known facts about the golden rules of selling, and then I expand on that. But the most important thing is, it's all about how you treat others the way that you'd like to be treated yourself. And when you mold the two together, you get something extremely powerful. Now that you've watched my foundational video on how to treat others the way that you would like to be treated yourself, well, you're probably now saying, well, he's just stating the obvious. No, I'm doing more than that. I'm proclaiming the obvious. In fact, I'm elevating the obvious to the point that you now need to understand in order to take every point that I bring to your attention and make it profitable for you. Now, if your need at the present is to improve the way that you're selling, improve the way that you're actually communicating with people, the psychology that I bring in as a background to this one issue is something that you will find, or you'll even discover, will take you to a level in selling that you never knew possible. So if you're one of those people, either in sales or somebody managing people in sales, somebody training people in sales, or somebody supporting people in sales, the information I pass on is life-changing, life discovering, and a form of redevelopment most salespeople don't get the chance to view or to share with others. Enjoy what you see, because I believe this is something a little bit above special. On the subject of treating others the way that you'd like to be treated, I want to bring up a concept which is called the golden rule of selling. And what that does is it breaks down a sentence like treat others the way that you'd like to be treated into three different concepts. Now, the first is the positive. And the positive simply is you treat others the way you'd like to be treated. The second is the negative. Now, I have no idea why people would actually sell this way, but according to them, they should not treat others the way that they'd like to be treated. I don't get that. And the third is the empathetic. In other words, you bring empathy into the situation, and here the maxim says if you wish something on others, you'll also wish the same thing on yourself. So let me expand in other maxims of the golden rule. And again, they break into positive, negative, and the empathetic. Now, the positives are, if you want people to be polite to you, be polite to others first. If you want people to help you, simply help other people first. And if you don't want people to be rude to you, well, that's simple too. Don't be rude to them first. So if we take the same maxims now in the negative, if you want people not to be polite to you, well, don't be polite to them first. If you want people not to help you, simply don't help them also. And if you don't want people to be rude to you, but you want to be rude to them, guess what? You'll get exactly what you deserve. Now, the empathetic goes even deeper, because whenever you wish positive things to others, you will also wish positive things to yourself. Let me repeat that. Whenever you wish positive things to others, you will also wish positive things to yourself. So the simple thing to do here is to simply get hold of the golden rule of selling, which is treat others the same way you would like to be treated. It sounds simple, and it can remain simple. The remainder of how this works and how you treat it and how it treats you is simply a mindset. Your mindset can either be positive towards it, negative towards it, or you'll be in empathy whenever somebody treats you wonderfully because of what you've just done, what you've just said, or what you've just helped them with.